Mexico Federal Highway 1. Yeah. Alright, we are getting to our second international road, and it's also a Highway 1, kind of a theme here. Today we're talking Mexican Federal Highway 1, since the Chiefs will be playing the Chargers this weekend. Alright, let's take a look at the route. We see Mexico Federal Highway 1 is a pretty long one. It goes the entire length of the Baja Peninsula, all the way from Tijuana down to Cabo San Lucas. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about highways and the places that they're signed to go to. If you dig this kind of content, why not give us a like? And if you're really into it, why not subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. I should let you know you can add a $5 or more super sticker, super thanks, onto any video to request your exit or interchange or points of interest or whatever, or just for kicks. Next week, we are doing the Colorado 470, the loop around Denver, since the Chiefs are playing the Broncos. Week after that, the Chiefs are playing Miami, but the game will be in Frankfurt, Germany, so we are doing Autobahn Highway 3 there in Germany. Alright, I usually start by going north first, but I mean, this is how I've always approached this road, so we are going to start with southbound Mexican Federal Highway 1. So we start here. We've seen this before on the I-5 video. This is where I-5 is going to be ending in San Diego at the Mexican border. Once crossing over, we end up on this road where we see the Tijuana Arch, but this isn't actually Mexican Federal Highway 1. This is part of Mexican Federal Highway 1D, which becomes the toll road. And we're not going to deal with that quite yet. We're going to talk about the regular one. Here is the actual start of Mexico Federal Highway 1. There's no signage for it whatsoever. You just have this little marker at the start of it, and we see the border wall in the US right there. So Mexican Federal Highway 1 weaves around the city streets of Tijuana. And here's kind of the first signage for Highway 1. We see Rosarito Libre, meaning this is the free road. And this is a not at all confusing sign that they've got here. We cross over the Tijuana River, not much in the way of water here. And we see we've got a sign for Rosarito Libre, straight ahead. We have a roundabout where we pass this cool-looking monument. I could have looked up what this is, but I am lazy. Continuing through, we are getting away from downtown Tijuana. We see Centro is the other way. We are going Rosarito Libre. And soon we will see we have an intersection for Highway 1D, which is the toll road. So that is the Ensenada and Beaches route, and it's a toll route. Highway 1 non-D, the free one, we will continue. It also goes to Rosarito and to Ensenada. Here we're meeting Highway 2. It's signed for La Mesa and Tecate, so 1 meeting 2. That's cool. We will run into 1D several times. They give us a lot of chances to decide to take the pay route instead of the free route. And here we are in Rosarito. This is sort of the downtownish area, although we are pretty close to the beach as well. And now we've got Ensenada Cota, the toll road, coming up here, 1D again. Popatla, straight ahead. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. And we can see Highway 1D is quite close to us for much of this route. So there is Highway 1D just to the left. And here again, we have a chance to get on the toll road. We're also meeting 2 once more for Tecate. I believe that is 2. This might be 3 here. And I should mention the scenery on this road is awesome. You see all kinds of cool stuff going along this road. Here's a cool old mission sitting here. Further down the road, this used to be the Titanic bar because they shot Titanic right here in Rosarito. And I actually went to that bar back when it was that. So had a margarita. It was all right. Here we're going to go under 1D, but we don't have the chance to get on it at this point. And we're going to go inland a bit while 1D stays on the coast. As we can see, we are away from the beaches here, and the scenery is still lovely. We've got another chance to get onto 1D, but that's going to take us back to Tijuana, so we don't want to do that quite yet. We're going to go straight ahead for Ensenada and San Miguel. And we're meeting Highway 3, I think, for the second time, and it is signed for Tecate. We are signed for Ensenada, straight ahead. And we've made it to Ensenada, so we are going to go around the outskirts of Ensenada. We don't actually go into Ensenada Centro. We're going to go straight for San Quintin on Highway 1. We're in Ensenada. We'll stop in downtown for a minute. Here's an Ensenada Centro. I went to this bar, also in like 1999. I went with my friends. I think it was a Sunday night. Said no cruise ships are in town on Sundays, so less gringos there. So if you're going, that's the day to go. And we are meeting 3 once again. 3 is splitting off for Ojos Negros. 1 is going to be exiting itself and turning here, and we are heading toward Antigua Ruta. Although then they come back and sign it for San Quentin once again, and then it's signed for Loreto just further up the road. Right here is about where we end the coastal-ish stretch of Highway 1, and we're making a hard left into the interior of the Baja Peninsula from this point. Also from Ensenada on, this road is very different than it was between Ensenada and San Diego. So we're meeting Highway 5 out here in the middle of nowhere, and Guerrero Negro is going to be our control city, and that's right on the border between the two Baja California states. And we see that's gone away, and we've got a new control city. None of these cities really are very big at all. All of them seem to be kind of a wide spot on the road. So this is all pretty desert-ish out here. At the border between the two states, we've got this little military zone thing, and the northbound and southbound lanes split up. And for some reason there is a whale skeleton sitting there too. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And we pass by the both aptly and hilariously named Halfway Inn here. We're at kilometer 220, but I can't figure out what that's supposed to mean because we are way more than 220 kilometers away from the border, and we are way more than 220 kilometers to go to get to the end. And also, we're only in 2 states, and the next state is 5 feet away, as you can see up there, so that's not it either. I really don't know what's going on with that. And here we get a welcome to Baja California, sir, and we have an awesome La Paz 770 long distance control city there. Kilometers, but still quite a ways away. And we're going to go straight, and we've got 1 meeting. We can't see what that other road that we are meeting are, but 1 right here, I believe, is going to be meeting 1. There are going to be 2 1s for a little while. And this is where the 1s will split. So our 1 is going to go to Santa Rosalia and Loreto, and the other one will go to Punta Abrejos. So we're taking this one down, we'll take the other one back. And look at this, we've got water on the left here. So we've gone all the way across the Baja Peninsula, and we're at the Gulf of California now. This road, like I say, is pretty hardcore. We go through some really rough deserts, mountain stretches, lots of curves. It would be an amazing road to drive. And we see 80 kilometers here, kilometer 80. Again, I don't know what they're counting down. Here are where Highway 1 and Highway 1 reunite. So if you go back, you can get to Ciudad Insurgentes, but we are heading toward Constitution. But we're actually really heading toward La Paz. And here we get La Paz coming up here. So the airport and La Paz are not far away from this point. And we've got our choice of La Paz Centro and La Paz Libramiento. My Spanish isn't good enough to remember what that means though. And right here is actually where we turn to stay on Highway 1, but there is no signage telling us to do so. Further down the road, we're getting close to the Cabos and Cabo San Lucas via Larga this way. Highway 19 is splitting off. It will also go to Cabo. We'll actually get to Cabo faster, and it's going via Corta. So you can take either road to Cabo. You'd actually be better off on 19, but we're taking 1. And we've got some more big mountain desert twisty road action. Here's where we get the toll road for Cabo. There's the toll road that goes past the airport and toward town, and we have the free road that is going toward the beaches, which is what we will stay on. And here's another chance to get onto the toll road. We will continue on the free road, Cabo San Lucas and Zona Playa and Zona Hotelera. And we make it all the way down. We can see the Pacific Ocean here. It is not the Gulf of anything. This is just the tip of Baja California. And wow, there's a Costco there in Cabo. And right here is actually where Highway 1 is going to end. So we see Cabo San Lucas Centro, we go straight, and you can get on Highway 19 to go back to La Paz through a different route. But this is the actual end of 1. But we've made it this far, we may as well go to the beach. So if we go straight, we end up on this road, and if we make a left here, then we end up at the city beach. So here we are. All right, now let's take a look at northbound Mexican Highway 1. So we will start out here at the Waldorf Astoria of Cabo. Seems like a fine place to stay. It's only like $1,400 a night. So we've got a long drive. We may as well have lived in luxury for this day, and let's head up on our way to Tijuana.
Get ready for 2 weeks at the happiest place on earth, Tijuana!
So here's what it looks like when we come outside of that area. And we weave through Cabo City streets, we may as well stop at Cabo Wabo and hang out with Sammy Hagar for a while. Then let's get back on our way to Tijuana. All right, we are meeting that intersection where we ended Highway 1 with 19, but we just have the choice of Aeropuerto and Playa Pescada, and it doesn't tell us anything about the highways. Strangely though, if you look at Street View from 2009, they actually did a better job signing these roads in 2009 than they do now. We are going to be turning straight to go to San Jose del Cabo and the airport. So that's kind of the other Cabo town. Cabo San Lucas is where we're at right now. And we are now signed for Santiago and La Paz, and we have the intersection with the toll one down here. Here's where we meet 19 on its other side, and smartly 19 is not signed for Cabo here because they figure any northbound people on Highway 1 are going to be coming from Cabo anyway. Highway 19 traffic is signed for Todos Santos. Much more sensible. We are assigned for La Paz here. We're heading into La Paz, and we see Ciudad Constitucion is going to be our next place. Highway 1, follow that. Turn left. And Insurgentes, not sure, is our control city now as we go around La Paz, and we have the sign for La Paz Centro. Here is where the ones split. So going one the way we took over here, you would go through Loreto, and going the way we're going to go now, we go through Insurgentes. This was kind of the only intersection I could find on this stretch of road. It's a pretty unused section of road, I think, and in this one, our control city changes to this San Miguel de Camundu. As we can see, yeah, not a lot of traffic on this part of Highway 1. Maybe the other Highway 1 is a little more traveled than this one. And we lose pavement. It ends up being a gravel road for part of it. We are in the deep desert here. And this is where we meet our other branch of Highway 1 once again, but we don't have any signage for it at all. We just have to know that we have to turn left to keep going north. And here is a last look at the Gulf of California before Highway 1 heads inland and ultimately to the other coast. Skipping ahead to the border between the two Baja states, and we are entering the state of Baja California versus Baja California Sur. And here we are signed for San Quentin. I think they could probably just jump ahead to Ensenada, honestly, because these are pretty small towns along the way. And we meet Highway 5, and we have a couple of other non-Ensenada control cities. And we see the Pacific Ocean once again. It's back on our left as we drive north. And now we are assigned for Ensenada and for Highway 2. I believe this is in San Quentin, so still quite a ways up to Ensenada. In Ensenada, we have the choice between Tijuana and Tecate. This sign's pretty dusty, but it says that the toll road is left for Tijuana and San Diego, and they don't really tell us which way the free one is. Oh, the sign next tells us which one is the freeway. The much nicer looking sign is right before we get to the toll road, and it just tells us Tijuana Scenic Road, San Diego. But it doesn't tell us that it's the toll road. Here is our first toll booth. I believe there are 3 on this, at least that's as many as I saw. And we see for a car, our toll is going to be $2.75. In the La Salina area, this is the Angel Camp. I actually stayed here when I went to Mexico with buddies in 1999. The aforementioned Who songs and all that, that was all on that same trip. And it was pretty awesome. We stayed at this little spot just right there on the beach. Here's where you'd actually have to get off if you were going to that place. La Salina is the name of the place, and Tijuana is now straight ahead. We are assigned for Tijuana. We're skipping Rosarito and going straight for Tijuana, which I think is the right call. Tijuana is a lot bigger. And heading north, we are on the Tijuana toll road. As I said, we are taking the toll road this way. And you can get off here to go to Tijuana or Tecate. We're getting close to Tijuana. You see the toll booth is just right there as soon as you get off. And we get to our second toll, and we see this toll is going to be for $2. And we're heading north. We have the exit for Rosarito coming up, and we are still on 1D for Tijuana. In fact, here is our exit, and 1D Tijuana straight ahead. And here's the exit for the free road. You can take it for free to get back to Tijuana, or you can go to the beaches here, but we're staying on the toll road. Ah, we're in San Diego already. We have an exit for La Jolla. I guess there's more than one La Jolla in the world. Tijuana straight ahead. And we get to our third toll. This is right before the toll road ends, and it is also for $2. So grand total of $6.75 to go from Ensenada to the border. Not too bad. And we end up right at the border once again before we actually get into Tijuana. And if you do continue straight here, you get downtown, but we are going to follow what Google Maps says is 1D, which takes us over toward I-5. Now 1D actually kind of intersects itself. We are on the 1D traffic, but we can also exit off to go back the way we're just on, that Ensenada Scenic Road. And we come right next to the border one more time before we end up crossing it. Here's our sign for Avenue Revolucion. Got a drink or two on that street. And straight ahead, we've got Highway 5 for San Diego. We can take one last look at the Tijuana Arch as we loop over to the road that will cross the border and lead us to I-5. Cross the Tijuana River one more time, closer to the border this time, and here you are obligated to get to I-5 pretty much at this point. You are going to San Diego if you are in these lanes. And it's a long wait to get to the border, but we can see the brown beige border facility in the background there. So we will finish Highway 1 and be there in San Diego just in time for kickoff. All right, let's take a look at Todd's the way it should be for Mexico Highway 1. I'm going to say it should be southbound Rosarito. That makes sense. I think they do it that way. And because there are a lot of tourists coming down from California who go to beaches in Rosarito, it is a sensible control city. Ensenada, easy there. And then there's a whole bunch of small towns along the way. I can't pretend that I know what any of them are. I personally would just go with La Paz, even though it's really, really, really far away. But I do suppose if you know where you're going, then the other cities can be helpful too. And then Cabo San Lucas from La Paz. Northbound, I would say San Jose del Cabo, the way they do, to the other Cabo, because one goes there first. And then La Paz, and La Paz is not that far away at that point. I know this is a big swing, but I'd go Ensenada out of La Paz. I do think there's probably other places you can sign along the way, but again, I'm not familiar with any of those places, and a lot of them are very, very, very small. I imagine once you are on Highway 1 between Ensenada and La Paz, you're probably going between one or the other. And then next, Tijuana after Ensenada. Doesn't make sense to sign Rosarito northbound. And finally, San Diego. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of Control City Freak. We are going to Denver next week for the 470s, and then we're going to Germany after that, so that'll be cool. I really appreciate you watching today. Thank you so much, and until next time, my name is Todd, and keep on trucking.